and individual talent by T.S. Eliot. First of all, we will give introduction of author. T.S. Eliot's time period started from 1888 to 1965. He was an American-born British poet, playwright, and literary critic, considered one of the most influential figures in 20th century literature. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, he moved to England in 1914 and later became a British citizen in 1927. Eliot's work often reflect his deep intellectual with religious concern, and his modernist approach to literature shaped the direction of poetry in early 20th century. His famous works are Prologue and Other Observation 1917, The Wasteland 1922, the Hollow Man 1925, Ash Wednesday 1930, Four Portraits 1943, Murder in Cathedral 1935, The Family Reunion 1939, The Cocktail Party 1949. About the essay, T.S. Eliot, as a tradition and individual talent, was first published in 1919 in the Egoist magazine. It was later included in his collection of essays titled The Scared Wood, Essay on Poetry and Criticism. This collection compared many of Eliot's critic essay and tradition, and individual talent is the one of the most notable contribution to literary criticism. Talent. T.S. Eliot said, tradition and creativity are deeply connected. Artists must learn from the past to create meaningful new work. Their creativity also update and reshape tradition for the future. Uh, his essay is divided into three concepts. Concept of tradition, theory of dispersonalization, and last conclusion. Concept of tradition. Eliot's concept of tradition is the central to his essay. Is central to his essay, and he defined it more than a collection of past works, a living, dynamic continuum, conscious engagement with tradition, the historical sense first. A living, dynamic continuum. Tradition is not static, but continuously evolving as a new work of art are created. It is living heritage that connects past, present, future of literature. Elites reject the idea that tradition is just outdated or rigid set of rules. Instead, it is an active force that guide and inspire creativity. As he is right, tradition can't be inherited, and if you want it, you must obtain it by great labor. Conscious engagement with tradition. Eliot insists that writer must actively study and engage with the literary canon to situate their work within the continuum. By understanding the achievement of past artists can avoid shallow inventions and instead build up the depth of what has come before. This is why I listed no poet, no artist of any art has his complete meaning alone, the historical sense. This is ability to perceive the past significance and its connection to the present. According to Eliot, an artist with the historical sense approach how their work is a part of larger conversation, and that reshape and reinterpret the traditions new work are added to it. He described the historical sense as a feeling that involves the perceptions not only the pastness of the past but of its presence. Individual talent. While tradition is essential, it emphasizes the role of the individual creativity and originality in literary work. Unique contribution, reshaping tradition, effort and discipline. Unique contribution. Eliot argues that the individual talent involves creating something distinct and personal that still resonates with established tradition. Poet originality becomes meaningful when it engages with the body of existing work and enriches it with new perspective. Here, T.S. Eliot gives the example of humor that we should include the a new work of art is created, is something that happens simultaneously to all the works of art which preceded it. Reshaping tradition. When a new work of art enters the tradition, it subtly alters the way we perceive earlier works. For example, the innovation of the modern trade may reveal new dimensions of older text, and creating a feedback loop between the past and the present. The past directs and guides the present, and the present modify and alter the past. Eliot writes that the existing monuments of an ideal order among themselves which is modified by the introduction of new work of art among them.
Okay, prior to discussing the theory of depersonalization. So the main concept is tradition and individual talent. So how do you take the perception of tradition as stated by T.S. Eliot? Obviously, you need to consider the art. If you just view the art in the perspective of tradition, like the ancient time, the way poets and different artists they have put their contributions, whether it is a matter of cost, but T.S. Eliot is trying to connect it with the present as well, and there is a process of evolution that these traditional concepts are historical. They are the basic pivotal, you can say that, a sport for the newcomers to come up with new creative ideas. So still they are taking inspiration from the ancient one. So this is how you need to discuss the art in two domains, being the traditional concept and the individual talent, like the someone who is emerging as a renowned artist, you can say poet or playwright. So obviously he or she needs to take some inspiration from the works of the past and actually create that one. So in that perspective, you are supposed to discuss it.
Sir, basically, T.S. Eliot rejects the ideas of romantics because romantic emphasizes on creativity, personal feelings, and emotion. But T.S. Eliot rejects this idea, and his idea is that art is everything, bigger than your emotions and your feelings.
So in Letters of Poetry, obviously he is trying to defend the poetry and then the old version of poets. And then you see even romantics criticizing in a context that they are not isolated from the works of the past. There is some sort of connection between them. So this is how he is trying to make his point. Okay, you move on. Theory of the depersonalization. You must get they are discussing in which perspective? Perspective of the art, tradition and individual. Art as depersonalization. Eliot argues that the trait of assigns the personal emotion. The poet acts as catalyst, personal emotions. Okay. Transforming personal feelings into universal expression. Here, T.S. Eliot gives the example of chemistry that in the formation of sulfuric acid, we need like elements like oxygen and sulfur dioxide. But the catalyst we need is platinum. So the platinum remains the neutral, unaffected, and unchanged. So art as a depersonalization. What is the actual message of it? Element of objectivity in the poetry, you can say. Although you cannot associate the subject element of subjectivity, his or her emotions are there, but still it is universally applicable. Like the way he is creating that poetry is not a turning loose of emotion, but an escape from emotion. He says that the poetry is turning loose of emotion, but an escape from emotion. Objective correlatives. To achieve impersonality, poets choose objective correlatives, situations, symbols, or events that evoke the emotional indirectly. Eliot emphasizes that emotion in art rises from the structure, not personal expression. Extension of personality. The artist must suppress the individuality, focusing on the demand of the work. Eliot writes, the progress of an artist is continual self-sacrifice, a continual extension of personality, ensuring the art resonates universally. So mean here he is laying more emphasis on the art, not the artist. Mean you can say even the poet or the playwright, he should actually sacrifice, self-sacrifice and continual extinction of personality.
Focus on
It
poetry,
must be
not
reflected in his or her work.
conclusion. The balance between tradition and innovation. Eliot emphasizes that the greatest poets are those who balance their unique creativity with a deep understanding of literary tradition. He argues that the past informs the present and new works of art contribute to and reshape the tradition.
Yes.
The artist's role is not to create isolation but to participate in ongoing dialogue.
The way you were saying romanticist, that there is no concept of isolation from the tradition. You need to create balance, and if the one who is actually maintaining that balance is a renowned, you can say, versatile poet, acknowledged one. Impersonality as the mark of a great art.
Eliot reiterates that the great art is impersonal. The poet must transcend personal emotion and individuality to create universal and enduring works. He stresses that the poetry is an escape from personality, where the artist's focus shifts from self-expression to demand of the art itself. Art is timeless contribution. Eliot concludes that the true artist's achievements lies in the creating work that both honors the tradition and adds something meaningful to it. This balance ensures that the art remains timeless, resonating across the generation and enriching the literary
So, I
continuum.
mean, how the art is timeless. If it is admired by the people of all generation, like even in the modern era, still it is having its readership, or the way it was enjoying that title in the past, still in
Yes.
present it has an element of universality in it. Art as a timeless contribution. This is the last one. Okay, any question related to tradition and individual talent? Although they have tried their level best to explain to these slides. Any question? Because this is a new topic for you. We have one more presenter on the same topic. So come ask question. Yusuf, Kabir.
Okay, my question is that how art is a timeless contribution, any piece of art.
In this essay, case we talk about the
Like in this,
the work of
the,
Shakespeare.
yeah,
We can
mm,
say that they are timeless. They
how,
can initiate because it is coming from a generations to generations as such.
so that doesn't mean that it's alive still now. Like the things are now digitalized. This is the era of
But
technology.
their concepts are not like they are universal.
How give instances. Like any example if you have, that the any idea it was presented by Shakespeare and it is still valid in this era, then we can only say that art is a timeless contribution.
Okay, you need to go through it in order to answer the question. Okay, Furqan is supposed to give the answer right now of his own question.
I was unaware, that's why I asked it.
Okay. You put them in great trouble, like they are thinking about anyone else.
Yes, he knows the answer.
जैसे उन्होंने कहा है कि शेक्सपियर के जो वर्क हैं वो टाइमलेस हैं। तो टाइमलेस होने की वजह ये है कि अभी भी हम इसे रिलेट करते हैं, जैसे कि वो प्ले है वो जिसमें शाइलॉक में, उसमें हम देखते हैं कि ही इज़ अ ज्यूइश ट्रेडर एंड ही यूज्ड टू लैंड पीपल मनी। तो अभी भी हम देखें तो ज्यूज इसी तरह करते हैं, दुनिया में जो सूद का सारा कारोबार है वो उनका है। इन दिस सेंस आई थिंक
There are certain thematic content that is still relevant in the curriculum. This point of view is valid. Like
Yes.
you see in Hello, the theme of jealousy is there, and even the gender discrimination, ethnicity is still in the
Yes,
current
color
scenario, it is
discrimination.
universally applicable in our society. Although we literally believe that there is no superiority of white color over the black, but still when it comes to the practical applicability, we are having certain standards and they are still prevailing in the society. Clear? So obviously some certain themes are there that are universal. So in that perspective, obviously that piece of art is resonating in you can say that.
If we look in the Hamlet today, the hunger of power,
And now they are coming to that point. Okay, answer.
when Hamlet's uncle's kid his own brother for the sake of power, so he became the king.
Yeah, right.
For the first text.
Yes, the way now the people of the same skin and blood, that the way they are bloodthirsty of each other, just to grab the power and realistic gains. So those all themes are still relevant and applicable. You
Yes.
may interpret in various other contexts as well. So this is how the point of view of Iliad is just to maintain the balance between tradition and individual talent as an artist. Okay, who is next?